Yo, remember I was talking about context and why certain things happen and why our sisters respond a certain way? I'm about to divert from my normal postings just to touch a little bit on some examples. Few little examples of why I say that you have to understand context of why sisters may react when you see certain videos and you hadn't seen what led up to it and why they respond a certain way. First example, we have this New Orleans thing that's going on, right? Super serious. Folks lost their lives. Heinous act. Now, we have a sister who apparently is on the FBI, one of the agents that's either heading up this whole investigation. And I saw her the other day, I can't remember which day it was, but I saw a press conference, right? And there was this goofball senator, Kennedy. I don't know his first name. I think his last name is Kennedy. Anyway, serious conversations, serious updates. And you got this goofball, this Senator Kennedy, standing up in the press conference, talking while folks are talking and trying to give updates. Had to be confronted about that. Tell him, hey, excuse me, you see there's something going on? And I think that was a sister, if I'm not mistaken. I can't really remember. But that may have been a sister. Yeah, we know what the deal is with that anyway. Then you see this guy. He's got a red cup. This is a press conference about folks who lost their life. You're supposed to be serious about this thing. Serious about the investigation, making sure that you're covering all the bases. You have some empathy for the folks' families, all that. This cat's sitting in the conference, drinking on a red cup. Just drinking like it's like a social event, right? Okay, again, I think there's some of our folks that are in this press conference. And then FBI agent, the sister, starts speaking. And all of a sudden, this guy interjects and starts asking about what news stations are here. And he slowly but surely starts moving towards the podium. The sister's right in front of the podium. And he basically bogards his way, gets right in front of her, and starts to proceed to speak about whatever he was talking about at the news conference. And I don't even know what the rest he was talking about after that. But that particular act was purposeful. Because what's been happening is, on this particular sister that's been heading up the FBI, you've been hearing through the social media waves that folks have been talking about DEI, right? We start bringing up this DEI stuff, that she's a DEI hire. And I think that what happened was that this goofball was trying to prove a point to minimize this sister's position in this case. Feeling that, hey, people are talking about DEI, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show my butt out here. And he went in and he bogarted, disrupted, acted like a straight goofball during this whole press conference. And you wonder why sisters respond a certain way that they do? Clearly what this guy was doing. If you know, us as black folks, we know what that was all about. And you think that all those videos I talk about sisters, people saying that they're aggressive and violent and obnoxious and all these different type of stigmas or whatever. But this sister was trying to do her job. These folks were trying to do their job, and someone was coming in with a higher position and trying to completely demoralize, take away credit from them because of folks saying stuff on the social medias. And you want to sit up here and you want to pump your chest out and you want to show who you are. One example. Second example. We saw what happened yesterday, I believe it was. Or when y'all see this video, I don't know. It happened on the 6th, I believe. Kamala Harris. She is swearing in one of these congresswomen. the utmost decency, regardless of whatever or not you like her or not, utmost decency, the woman is doing her job. Swearing in, Congresswoman then proceeds to shake her hand, and then her husband is there. She puts out her hand for the husband, and the husband totally disregards it. No, I'm okay. I'm okay. We know what that was. But again, you keep talking about my sisters being a certain way, but it's the context. Disrespectful, right? You being disrespectful to our sisters in a position that they deserve to be in. Anyway, third example. We get to, again, I don't know when this video is coming out, but it's the day before this video. My sister has an issue up at the store that she's at. Some person comes in, they let their kid ride around in a scooter. My sister says, hey, we can't have that. We can't allow that to happen in here. Obviously, for reasons of liability. The girl falls down, injures herself, or she hits a customer and injures a customer. The customer is going to come and sue the store. So my sister's telling them, hey, listen, she's got to go elsewhere with her scooter. So the person curses my sister out, right? Now, this is a female. Curse my sister out. Okay, that's not cool, but whatever. But she proceeds to go outside the door, and she calls some reinforcements in. And they happen to be males. The men come in, and they start pumping up their chest, trying to look intimidating to my sister. My sister had to call the cops. Cops come around. My sister had to call the cops 3 times because these folks kept on coming in the store trying to intimidate my sister. So my sister calls me. Says, hey, I need you to come up to the store at the end of the day. I'm like, you know what? I'm there. Now, I didn't have to go. Fortunately, probably a situation that could have got to be a little bit different if I was there. But my point was, again, my sisters getting confronted with this type of stuff. And it's the context. And you don't think that they have to respond a certain way? Being intimidated? Being demoralized? Being disrespected? And you think that they should just swallow it up and say, hey, you know what? This is like back in the plantation days where you had to bow down. You had to accept what it was because you were completely outnumbered. You didn't have no say. Now, my point is just not solely the fact at my sister's receiving this type of treatment, because that's one point. The other point I'm trying to get to is all these situations, if there was a man on the other side of this, and this really kind of applies to all women, mostly my sisters though, because my sisters get the worst treatment of it all because they've been disrespected by so many cultures and continue to be and get disrespected by their men. But if you thought if there was a man on the other side of this, in every situation I'm talking about, the results are totally different. The energy is not the same. That's the problem. That's the problem I have with these men. That they have so much of this, it's like a domineering superiority type of thing that you want to exert your bravado, your strength, your size over a woman. But when it comes down to a guy and you standing face to face with that guy, you don't have the same energy. That's the weak stuff I'm talking about. That's what these guys do. And they do it more to my sisters, and my sisters don't play that. That's the difference. Now, some of my sisters may get caught slipping or somebody does something and whatever, but for the most part, my sisters just don't play that. And so what happens is that you're going to get that counter. And I say that time and place is for everything. Sometimes in some of those videos, maybe there just wasn't a way to resolve that conflict in that particular video, and it had to go a certain way. because you had someone being a provocateur. You had someone trying to stand on folks and act like, hey, you're supposed to just be submissive. That's what I'm talking about. The guys, they don't have the same energy when they're standing face to face with another man. Some of them do, and I respect that. Some of them who are really about it and really are going to stand or are going to let another male know that, no, you're not going to sit up here and you're not going to intimidate me or you're not going to disrespect me. I respect those kind of males. But a lot of these men, they only do it to the folks that they think are weaker than them. So they respond that way. And in this climate now, it's becoming more pervasive because we got folks who are getting a little bit more emboldened now. The tides seem like they're turning now. And all of a sudden you're going to see, I hope and pray that it doesn't go that way. I really, truly do. I'm not a person who wants to stoke all of this, these flames of all this stuff going on. I try to be as positive as I possibly can be. So you're not going to hear me speak about, wanting to be combative with folks. Stand your ground, absolutely, but I'm not going to do that as you see some of these other social media people that they are trying to get the rage baiting thing. They want to get the folks, to get angry, become emotional. I'm not going to do that. But I'm just trying to prove a point here. In some of those examples you see, men get weak. These weak men are weak. Or these men are weak because they act a certain way when it comes down to females. They don't have the same energy when another man is standing there. I know because I've been in plenty of examples where that stuff has happened. And when I come around, that stuff gets silent. That person gets silent. All that stuff gets choked up. All that stuff changes. So I know in personal situations that happens. But the other thing is, this is what my sisters have to respond to. And sometimes they have to let you know that you're not going to push me over. You're not going to just walk in front of me like that senator did and totally disrespect this woman trying to help a case, trying to solve a case, trying to give some type of information to these family members, give some type of security to the public. And you just come in and you're like, you know what? I could do what I want to do because you're just whatever you think, whatever you think she is, which we know what the situation is. So that's what I'm talking about. Context. When you see this stuff and you watch these videos or you hear these stories, there's context to it. Something happened before that and that person responded to that. So don't blame my sisters all the time when they got to handle their business. Catch you on the next note. Peace out.